Are you ready to slay your money monsters, those gremlins that are keeping you stuck from having the wealth and the freedom that you desire? Today is day 11 of the 30-day Money Mindset Challenge, and I'm going to share with you strategies and tools to be able to not only uncover what your money blocks are, but also how to release them. So this is going to be an enormous shift in your ability to create wealth, freedom, and abundance in your future. So firstly, you need to uncover what's going on back here that is stopping you from achieving the abundance that you truly desire and deserve. And every single person on the planet, including you, has access to an infinite and limitless amount of abundance financially. It's just that you haven't figured out how to tap into it. And that means that there's some blocks back here that are causing you to stay stuck in your current financial situation. The good news is that this is in your control, that you have the power to be able to change this, to solve this problem. So let's talk about first uncovering where this all starts, where it all comes from. Well, you are not alone. You are part of the vast majority of people, 96, 98, maybe 99% of people who have this crap programming around money. This is the seat of everything, by the way. The limiting beliefs, the fears, the doubts, the limiting decisions, the blocks that stop people from getting results in all areas of their life. So it could be relationships, it could be health, whatever it is, we've all got programming going on back here. And every single person on the planet, we've all got crap programming going on back here. It's just that some have crap programming that they don't know how to overcome it to be able to achieve the results that they want. And that's what I'm going to help you with today. So let's get clear on the three primary blocks first. It's not safe, that's your fears. I'm not good enough, self-worth. I don't deserve it, self-worth, but also self-belief and self-confidence, okay? So, and you can change all of this. You can clear these fears, these doubts, these blocks, but you have to know what they are first. So let's break this down again. So the 8 blocks that actually are beneath that are fear of change, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of negative consequences, fear of loss, fear of judgment, criticism, humiliation, fear that you're not good enough, and then the 8th is actually trapped emotions. So guilt, shame, anger, sadness, regret, frustration. If you don't know to have the emotional intelligence to actually process those emotions, they don't go anywhere. They just get trapped in the body. They create physical ailments, dis-ease within the body, but they also cause you to behave in ways that just perpetuate those blocks, those trapped emotions until you heal them. The body has to heal what's trapped. So you will constantly get triggered about stuff. So if there are things that are triggering you, that is the universe saying you need to heal this. This is a part of your inner blocks. You need to heal them. So these are signposts from the universe. Use them as ways to grow and expand and clear your dysfunction within your emotional system, okay? So the first thing that you need to find out in order to clear these blocks to money is know what they are. And in day 8, I actually took you through a really powerful, it was a short but powerful exercise to find out some of your money blocks around money and around wealthy people. Well, today we're going to extend this and go a bit further. So firstly, I want you to think about what your environment was like as you grew up, okay? So, and specifically what it was like around money. How did your parents or your primary caregivers interact around money? What was the dominant conversation? What statements were made to you around money? So when you asked for something, what was the response? What do you think? Money grows on trees? What do you think? We're John D. Rockefeller? Maybe that's just my generation. But what kind of things were said to you when you wanted something? And how did you respond internally when you were denied something by that response? Were there arguments in your household? How did your parents talk or think about money? And even if there weren't actual conversations, because if you're part of my generation, then parents weren't supposed to argue in front of their children. All that happened with me all the time in the house. God bless my parents. They were great parents. But yeah, they argued a lot in front of me. But some parents didn't. But what was the underlying sort of unsaid stuff about money? What did you learn about money as a child? Now, that's not to say that what you learnt was true, but what was the dominant kind of familiar conversation or feeling in your environment around money? And your experience. What was your experience with money? Even if they never said anything, what was your experience around money? How did money make you feel, or the subject of money make you feel in the household? What else were you exposed to around money? What decisions did you make about money from a very early age as a result of your environment? Now, that's not just your primary caregivers. That's the media that you were exposed to. That's what was perpetuated at school. That was the friends you hung around with. If you know anything about Robert Kiyosaki, he grew up in a household where his father was a teacher. And his whole programming, everything is programming, and his conditioning was get a good education, get a job, get into debt, work your butt off your entire life. Hopefully at some point you're going to have enough in retirement to be able to eke out an existence in retirement to be able to get you to the finish line. That ain't something that I want to buy into, thanks very much. But that is what a large people have been programmed and conditioned into. So this is where Robert Kiyosaki was fortunate enough to have a friend who had a rich dad. So the Rich Dad, Poor Dad book was written based on his poor dad, who is his actual father, and who he called his rich dad, who was his friend's father, who was rich. Took him under his wing, taught him the hard-earned principles of how to be rich, wealthy, and successful. And Robert Kiyosaki took those principles, ran with them, and now he's a multi-billionaire, okay? So I've said this before, but I heard something recently where Robert Kiyosaki is over $1 billion in debt, and that debt is fully leveraged. Large amount of his assets are real estate, something like 12,000 rental properties. So that debt, whilst he's paying clearly millions of dollars in interest, he is making more than that to pay the debt. So it just cancels itself out. This is the way the rich work. The rich know how to make money work for them. They don't care whether they're in debt, as long as their debt is leveraged and is actually, they are getting a return on investment for their debt. That is good debt. And you need to understand that. In order to understand that, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So it is your environment that shapes you. You are a product of your environment. So if you grew up in an environment where you developed this lack and scarcity consciousness, guess what? Change it. Change it. So understand what the programming is back here. Now, the next thing is, how do you feel about money? Now, we did an exercise on day 8 that was all about money is, and you wrote down particular statements, and I said then go and do EFT on the negative statements, and then what do you want it to be? Do EFT on tapping in the positive. You can tap out the negative with EFT tapping, this thing, and then you can tap in the positive. This is why I love it so much. It's simple, it's powerful, it works so fast, it can totally transform your life. If you are not doing it daily, why not? So money is, what do you think about money? How do you feel about money? Sit down and look at your financial situation. Get clear on your financial situation. If you did day 10 yesterday, we did this exercise. Get really clear on what your financial situation is right now. And really come to terms with it. Accept it. Get rid of the emotion. Get the emotion out. Tap on it. Write down all the things that you feel about your financial situation. All your emotions, all your feelings. Feelings are things like sadness, regret, disappointment, frustration, shame, guilt, anger. Write down all your emotions, all your feelings, tap them out. Get the emotion out of it. Once you can get to a point of neutrality, because all those negative emotions are just resistance and they are blocking your abundance. They are blocking your ability to create financial wealth. Once you get to a point of neutrality, then you have the ability to create solutions, which we also spoke about yesterday in day 10, and create solutions to your financial problems. So what do you feel about money now? What do you feel about wealthy people, about rich people? Sit down and analyze all your feelings about rich and wealthy people, all your feelings and your beliefs about rich, successful people, highly successful people. What traits and characteristics do you think are dominant in rich and wealthy people? How do you think they operate? Because how you think they operate, it's not how they operate. And what you think their traits and characteristics are, I can guarantee you are either missing some or you are adding some according to your belief bias. So a lot of people, and this is also from the conditioning and programming that you have from your history and from what you were exposed to, you are a product of your environment, particularly in your early years. A lot of people think that the general thing about rich people is they are mean, they are nasty, they are rude, they are selfish, they will do anything to get what they want. They don't care about people, they only care about themselves, they're egotistical, they're brash, they're bombastic, they're arrogant. Do any of those resonate? Maybe not, and if not, that's fantastic. But whilst there are rich and wealthy people out there who do demonstrate these traits and characteristics, there are also wealthy people out there who are generous, who are kind, who are conscious, who want to do good things in the world, who are making change and funding things that help make the human race and the world a better place. There are people like that on the planet. You can find them if you look for them, but you can't find what you are not looking for. And money is just an amplifier. So whoever you are, however you are, having more money will just amplify that. So if you're a kind and generous person, then having more money won't make you mean and greedy. It'll just amplify your generosity and your kindness. This is what money does. Money does not have a conscience. It's not the devil. It's not the demon. It's not going to turn you into Satan. That's not the way this works. Whatever is already in you will be amplified and you will be able to make a bigger difference in the world. So really get clear on what these blocks are. Then what do? Once you know what they are, you tap them out, baby. You do this thing. Or whatever clearing technique you know that works for you, just do it. Because your beliefs are not a reflection of reality. They're just your beliefs. Your stories, if they're negative stories, change them to positive stories. Everything is perception. Everything is a story. Most truths are subjective. So do you know that we make decisions based on a very limited amount of information about everything because we have access to a very limited amount of information? Then what our brain does, it fills in the gaps according to our bias. And one person will make up their mind about something based on a certain amount of information, and we will continue to seek information that reflects our bias. This is the bubble that we create. We put ourselves in an echo chamber. This is what we do naturally with our mind. We look for evidence that just reinforces our current belief. It is time to open your mind. It is time to think critically, and it's time to look for alternative evidence in relation to, well, everything, but in relation to the truth that you think you know about money. Because whatever you know about money, I can guarantee you, you are lacking a whole lot of information, and you are making decisions about money based on your bias. It is time to change a negative bias to a positive bias, because that will change your entire future. So do these exercises. Sit down and actually work through these exercises so you can start to reframe money, to create new beliefs around money. Do the tapping work. It will totally and utterly transform your life. If you are ready to smash your money monsters, then this is the way to do it. So if you have enjoyed this, then please like and subscribe, comment below, let me know how this has landed for you. And if you want to download my 20 wealth creation tips for conscious entrepreneurs, just type wealth in the comments below. I'll send you the link. Download it for free, no strings attached. And if you have missed any of the previous videos, you can catch them all in this playlist right here. If you haven't seen day 8, then go and check it out, because it's a game changer. I look forward to seeing you in the next video tomorrow. Ciao for now.